How's it going, everyone? Sean here from Raw Technique Studios, and today I want to break down royalties and how to go about collecting all of these royalties from your music when it's on iTunes or any type of streaming site. Alright, so let's jump right into it. Here's your song, and you want to get it out there to iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, and so on. So what you're going to do is first go through a distributor. Now, the distributor that I personally use and recommend is Distrokid. Distrokid is a very, very inexpensive way to get your music out onto all of those different platforms. I'll have a link down below in the description with a discount for you guys, so 7% off of their, I believe it's only $20 a year that you pay, but if you want 7% off of that, click on my link down below in the description and you'll be able to get that. So anyways, back to it. Here's our distributor. They get your music out onto those platforms. Now, the most basic way of thinking about how you make money off of this is your distributor puts a song on Spotify and iTunes and everything. Somebody streams your song off of Spotify. Somebody buys your song off of iTunes. That money, you would think, just goes to your distributor and then goes to you. You get paid. That is the most basic form of it, but there's more to it than just that. So let's say your distributor uploads your song for you to iTunes. Now, you're doing a 99-cent download, and iTunes is going to take 30% cut from every single download that you do. So say you make one sale, and iTunes takes their 30% cut, so now you're at 69 cents for that download. 69 cents should be paid to your distributor only if that iTunes download was made in the US. If it was made in the US, then all 69 cents is sent to your distributor for you to be paid. If that iTunes download was made in, say, the UK or Germany or Italy or somewhere else, some other country, it's only going to pay you 60 cents, and 9.1 cents is going to be going to your mechanical royalty, which is the mechanical royalty, and that's paid to that country's CMO, which is held specifically just for the publisher to collect. So it won't be paid to your distributor. And mechanical royalties are something by law that have to be taken from every sale, every stream of music to be paid directly to the publisher. Now, in the US, you don't really have to worry about mechanical royalties because they're included in every stream and every sale, and they're paid to your distributors directly, so you're already collecting that, so you don't have to worry about it. But if you're making sales in different countries, those mechanical royalties are collected by each individual country and held there for the publisher. Now, unless you're going to call up every single one of these countries and speak their language and be like, hey, you have money from my mechanical royalties that I made off of a sale in your country, then you're going to be leaving that money on the table. And it might not necessarily be a bad thing yet, unless you're really big, unless you're making a bunch of sales overseas. So if you're only making 10, 20 sales, something like that, like small amount of sales overseas, then it might not be worth the next step, which is publishing and administration. So let's go ahead and talk about publishing administration and whether or not you'd actually want to do it. So publishing administration is something like the company Songtrust. Songtrust is highly recommended by like BMI, by Distrokid, by all kinds of different places on a way to collect your mechanical royalties paid to the publisher overseas and everything like that. So Songtrust, they don't take any of your publishing. They simply administer it, and you keep 100% of your publishing ownership. It's not a co-publishing deal. It's not anything like that. It's administration only. So what they do is they take a percentage and they charge an upfront one-time fee to get signed up with them. So you are in a contract with them. So once you sign up with an administration publisher, just know that you can't jump around to other ones right away. It's I think either 1 year or maybe more. I'm not 100% sure, but it is a contract that you are in once you sign up with an administration publisher. So say you go with Songtrust to administer your publishing and collect those overseas mechanical royalties. Now, they charge $100 to get signed up, and they take 15% of all publishing money that they collect for you. Now, is that worth it or not? And that's going to all depend on how many sales are you making overseas in different countries. If you're only doing a couple and you're only generating 9.1 cents per sale. Let's say you make 100 sales in Germany, and that would be 100 times 9.1 cents, so that would make it $9.10. So $9.10 is now sitting there for you in Germany. But you would have to pay $100 to Songtrust to get signed up with them, and you'd have to pay 15% of that $9 to be able to collect it. So that's when it's not really worth it. Unless you're making really large amount of sales overseas, then it's not quite worth signing up with the publishing administrator and collecting that money. It's kind of just cheaper to let it sit there until you are actually making enough sales to make it worth collecting. So I personally would say don't sign up with Songtrust unless you know that your sales and your streams are just really, really high overseas and it's worth paying that $100 and 15% of everything that they collect. That's mechanical royalties, broken down by how you collect them and where they're held and everything like that. Now let's look at the other side of it, which is performance royalties. Now, performance royalties is separate than mechanical and distribution money. So performance royalties are paid to you by your PRO, which is your performance rights organization, and that is something like BMI or ASCAP. I personally am registered with BMI, and they collect money from radio play, from streaming, even on Spotify. If you have a song streaming on Spotify, you're not only making money from your distributor and the mechanical royalty that's paid out, you're also earning a performance royalty when that stream is happening. So because this is earning a performance royalty, the only way to collect that is to go through your performance rights organization. So like I said, I'm with BMI, and when you sign up with BMI, or if you want to go with ASCAP, that's fine. You could choose whichever one you want. But once you sign up with one, you're stuck with them. You can't sign up with both of them. It's just one that you choose. Now, there are two different accounts that you sign up with a PRO. There's a writer's account and a publishing account. So a writer's account is paid half of the money. A publishing account is paid the other half of the money, assuming you own full rights to that song. Every time a song is streamed, there is money being made for the writer and the publisher, and that royalty is paid out to your performance rights organization. So PRO pays you out, your distributor pays you out, the mechanicals, depending on where in the world that you're streamed or sold, it's either paid to the distributor or through an admin publisher. Let's look at another source of income from your music, and that's sound exchange. If your music is out on SiriusXM or on non-interactive streaming sites like Pandora's, like Shuffle Play, where you don't really get to pick exactly what song you're listening to, you just kind of put in what you're kind of wanting to listen to and then it shuffles it. That's non-interactive. That's all paid out through Sound Exchange. Sound Exchange is free to sign up. You can just go ahead and sign up with them and start collecting money if your music is on any of those services or any of those platforms. If it's not on it, you're not going to have any money in there. But if your music is on any of those, then you are owed royalties only paid through Sound Exchange. So that's separate than the PRO, separate than your distributor, and it's not a mechanical royalty. It's something separate. So those are the different ways to make money just from your song being out on iTunes or Spotify. Now there are other things like YouTube's Content ID system, which pays out. It's like a combination of these things that are all collected into YouTube Content ID and then paid out to whoever registered it. So like say AdRev or Vidya or any of those aggregators that get your music into the Content ID system, any money generated from ads using that beat or song or whatever, it could then be paid to the aggregator and then paid to you. So that's another way to make money if you're uploading it to the Content ID system. All right, so go ahead and leave a comment down below. If you have any questions about this stuff, I'll help out as much as I can. I've learned about this stuff over the last couple months, really clarifying it for myself because I always knew about parts of it, never really put it together. So I really wanted to understand it. So I called up the publishing department at BMI, talked to them about it. I've done a lot of research on Songtrust. They're recommended by like Distrokid and BMI, so they are a good company. Just you need to consider that whole how much you're actually making overseas in mechanicals, whether it's worth it or not. And then I learned about what mechanical royalties are, how it's taken from sales and streams, and then distribution. That's how you collect your money from those sales and streams as well. There's so much to it, and I just really wanted to share everything that I've learned, and hopefully that helps you guys understand it more so you could collect all of the money that you're owed. So if you have any questions about this, hit me up in the comments down below. Hit that like button and subscribe if you like this information, and I'll be making more videos about this stuff if you guys request it. So thanks again. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.